It's interesting because it's two different boxes here. And as we know as state legislators that we're different from the federal legislators. So just like our local police and state police are different from the federal police and what are they doing. So we can't tell our Congress and our U.S. Senate what to do, but we also can't tell the federal police what to do. We want to protect our local police officers, our local sheriff's officers, our local correctional officers, and state police. That's what we should be doing. This is putting more burden on them. We should be going after the people that are committing the crimes. If there's a problem with the federal police, then we go after the federal police. This is putting them both in the same box, and they shouldn't be in the same box. Our local police, our state police, our sheriff's officers, our correctional officers, they identify. They have badges, they have a badge number, they have their ID, they have their vests. All that stuff is on them and what they're wearing, wherever they go. So we know who they are. And that's the bottom line. Federal police, we don't know who they are. This doesn't make them identify themselves. They could care less what state legislators do. Their orders are coming from somebody else. It's not coming from us. So regardless of what we do, they're not going to obey this legislation. But what's going to happen is we're going to cause more harm on our state police. We had FOP here. PBA comes. Every union that comes, they understand that this is not going to do what you're hoping it's going to do. But it's going to cause more harm on what our officers are already doing. Who's going to pay for this? Our local municipalities and our local counties are going to have to pay for these changes and things of that nature. We need to really think about the legislation. We need to have those people that are having to enforce this at the table. Those are the adult conversations that we need to have. This is being rushed through. It was vetoed by the past governor. Now we're rushing it through again, and we haven't even had a voting session yet. Let's have that conversation with them to make sure that everything is in here that doesn't cause more stress or problems with them. We need to stop rushing legislation through when we're going to put more harm on people when we're just trying to get clicks and likes and press releases. That doesn't make any sense. These are real people that we're dealing with in this state that have issues and concerns, and real people that sit at that desk that have to do and invest their time in making sure that they police the legislation that we put through. Let's have that conversation. Let's not rush that through. They wanted to sit at the table. This is not perfect. We know that. And we're hoping that they're going to have this conversation before the 23rd. Is that realistic? That's not realistic for them to have this conversation before February 23rd and make all these changes that they would like to be made. While we're rushing stuff through, let's have an adult conversation. Everybody that's affected by it should be sitting at the table, and then that legislation can come out and it will make more sense. And it probably will be heavily supported if we know our unions are going to support that, instead of rushing things through. Let's make sure that the people that need to invest their time and invest their efforts in making sure that this goes through and is successful, they should have that seat at the table instead of rushing legislation through. So let's stop putting everybody in the same box and keep the boxes separate, because we know we're better than the federal people that represent us. So let's do that, and let's put out great legislation that does that.